Hi there folks, welcome back to my channel, and for this video I've come back into the Scottish borders and I am currently in the town of Melrose, and there's actually quite a few things to see in Melrose itself. There is the Abbey, there's also a Roman museum, and there's quite a few other things as well that I will be going off and exploring and showing you all while I'm here. But they will all be individual videos so that you can all get a good feel of what I'm actually seeing while I'm here. But for this video, I will be going in to see Melrose Abbey, which is actually just over to my right hand side. I managed to park up pretty much right across the road from the Abbey itself. And it is a ruined abbey, because again, with the Reformation, a lot of the abbeys were stripped of their wealth, stripped of their possessions, and a lot were allowed to fall into ruin. But one of the most important things about Melrose Abbey is that it actually has a connection to Robert the Bruce, because as I have previously shown, Robert the Bruce is buried in Dunfermline Abbey. Well, his body is, but his heart was removed after he died, was embalmed, put in a wee casket, taken over to go on crusade with the Black Douglas. They got as far as Spain, met some Moors, had a fight, Douglas was killed, and Robert Bruce's heart was brought back to Scotland and buried here in Melrose Abbey. So I will be showing that while I'm here, and I'll be showing you as much of the church as I can. And yeah, and it's, if I'm not mistaken, Melrose Abbey is under the care of Historic Scotland. So there is a wee Historic Scotland building just off to the side, so be popping in there before I head into the Abbey itself. But before I do head off, if you're enjoying my channel, if you're enjoying my videos, if you can click on the subscribe button, click on that notification bell, leave some likes, leave some comments, it's always really appreciated. And if you'd like to support the channel further, I will post a link to the channel's coffee.com page, the PayPal account, and the TikTok account in the description bar below, and then a pinned comment in the comments section. So with that out of the road, I'm going to grab my things and head on out. Yeah, that's the Roman Museum that I'd mentioned previously. So that's just up in that direction there. So after I visit the Abbey, I'll be heading up that way. There is actually a Roman fort nearby. I'll try and see if I can find that. But the Abbey itself is over there. So there's a wee gift shop you have to go into first. And there is a plaque that marks the location of where Robert Bruce's heart is buried. And if you want to see what the prices are, there you go. The opening times as well. And yeah, that is a sign saying no drone flying, so please don't. So at the moment, the main body of the Abbey, which is that bit over there behind me, that is actually closed off to the public, because I think they're actually doing quite a lot of work on a lot of the masonry, especially the higher up masonry. Because again, building like this, it's probably close to 1,000 years old, probably about 800 or something in that region. As a ruin, so it will need a hell of a lot of maintenance to make sure that it is preserved and it remains present for people to actually come visit. But I will try and show as much as I can of the ruins while I'm here. And the Bruce's heart you can actually get to, so I will show that as well. And I was talking to one of the girls in the gift shop, and she was saying that the monastery itself actually would have extended beyond this wall here. So this wall here would have not been here at one point. And you might be able to pick out that some of the archaeology, some of the ruins, actually goes underneath the wall. So it would have extended in that direction. And I think the boundary for the monastery would have been about a mile in length. So it's been one hell of a monastery. Quite a fair size. but I'll try and show as much of it as I can. So, basic idea of the layout. So that's the bit that I was showing you there. It clearly goes underneath the wall and beyond the roads. So Melrose would have been up there with a place like St Andrews in relation to power and influence. So the museum itself, there's that road there, which I think is over there, and the museum's on the other side, so I will show that at some point. So this will give you an idea of what the abbey would have looked like. So that's looking down in that direction, and the wall that runs across the middle of the nave, just that bit there, that's probably been part of the rood screen. What should have been the bit where the crucifix would have hung from, and the choir is in the section beyond. So it's dedicated to Mary, but I don't know if that's maybe the Virgin or not. And you can just see how grand this building would have been. Yeah, so the royal connections goes way beyond Robert the Bruce. So Robert the Bruce is obviously that statue there, sitting on a horse. It's founded by David I. And Alexander II is buried here. Give me an idea of what life was like for the monks. Yeah, this area here has been the cloister. You can just make out the stone for the foundations. Not too sure what that circular bit is. Have a wee nosy. There's a wee sign here. Oh, this circular bit here was a wee kind of wash area. A lavatorium. Obviously where we get the word lavatory from. Yeah, I've just spotted it. It's a stone marker where Robert Bruce's heart was buried. Because there was an archaeological excavation carried out back when I was a kid. I do actually remember that's been on the news. And they'd found a lead casket, and they'd x-rayed it and done a lot of work on it, and they had proved that it was the casket holding Robert Bruce's heart, and also they found it buried here in in Melrose, and they reburied it, marking the location with this stone memorial. So this is the stone memorial that marks the location where Robert the Bruce's heart is buried. And they actually have some of the flooring from the chapter house on display in situ. So the chapter house would have been right next to the abbey itself. And you can see that some of the tiles actually still have their glaze on them. You can just see it kind of glinting in the sun. And so that's quite a good view of the abbey there. It's been from that bit on my left hand side, that bit there is at the east end of the abbey. So I'm looking at the abbey from the southeast. Yes, this is a section of the abbey's Great Drain. Just sitting here exposed. And it just goes to show that Great Drains for abbeys like this were quite substantial in size. Just like the one they found for the Paisley Abbey. Yes, if you're going to the museum, there's this wee walkway. There's just a couple of gates to go through. And the museum in the back by that building over there. So you can see that some of the ruins from the monastery extend into here as well. And this would have been one of the buildings associated with the monastery. So Melrose Monastery would have had quite a lot of ground attached to it. I think these here culverts and parts of the Great Drain, you can see how extensive they are. Because there's also the bit of the Great Drain over there, as I was showing you. So they've serviced all the buildings. Yeah, this is the entrance to the museum. And it does have a lot of the stone carvings from the abbey itself. Including statues of saints. I'm guessing the one on the left, like that one there, has a virgin and child. And these would be some of the artefacts that have been found on site. A bit like Paisley, all these were found in the drain. And it does tell a hell of a lot about life in the abbey. They even found a seal. And they even have some of the artefacts found at Newstead Roman Fort. That wasn't the one that I saw the sign for coming into Melrose. So there must be quite a few, or at least a couple here down the borders. You can see all the Roman pottery. Yeah, there's even more artefacts from the abbey up the stairs in the museum, including these ceiling bosses. One example of 4 tiles. Some are even decorated with fleur-de-lis. And even more sections of the roof or the ceiling. I've even got one where it's decorated with the line rampant, which is that one there. Some carved stone friezes. That one up top looks like a green man. Well, that's me finished my little visit to Melrose Abbey. I'm just going to head back out, try and grab myself a bit of lunch. I did notice there's somewhere to go to just on the other side of the car park, so I'll probably head over there and try and see what I can get myself. But Melrose Abbey is definitely a stunning building to come visit and explore. And you can go around the other side of the Abbey as well and see it from that side. But it is good to see that they are doing a lot of work on the ruins and making sure it's safe and preserving as much of it as they can for the future. Because it's sites like this that are so important and do need to be protected and preserved and saved for the future, so people can come and obviously learn about what happened in the past. But I'm definitely glad that I came to Melrose today. That is actually not too bad for it. And yeah, stunning place to come and visit. So hopefully you will have enjoyed this video. Hopefully you've found Melrose Abbey intriguing and you'll come along and have a little explore. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.